Today we're looking at both the Campermate app and the Campermate website. And I can tell you right off the bat, there's one thing I love, one thing that I'm not a fan of, and one thing that I'm very excited about. The thing I love, it's free. No cost to you, no cost to you ever. The thing I'm not so keen about, the app. The app itself is only available in portrait mode, so not great for an iPad. And the thing I'm really excited about is a AI-driven trip planner that they've got on their website called Billy. So I'll be giving that a try, be working through the app, be planning trips, and then we'll see how it all goes.
Andrew here from No Man's Unplugged, where we are interested in tips, trips, tools, toys, and particularly tech for big lappers and adventurous road trippers.
Today, as I said in the introduction, we'll be looking at the Campermate app on the iPad, but we'll also be looking at the website. I've previously done videos on Wikicamps, and I'll put some links up here, and the Camps Australia-wide app. And I'll continue this series looking at some other trip planning apps as I progress. So if you like this sort of thing, please like, and please subscribe, because that really helps me.
Alright, Campermate, let's launch the app. As you'll see, it is in portrait mode. So I will tip my iPad up on its side and look at it from this direction, which is unfortunate. Anyway, it seems to launch and centers you in your current location. Now, a little bit about Campermate. Apparently it was started in New Zealand in 2006, so it's been around nearly 20 years. It grew rapidly in 2011 when New Zealand hosted the Rugby World Cup, and a lot of tourists visited New Zealand, hired camper vans and wanted to travel. So that's how it had its initial bit of success. It then expanded into Australia with some arrangements with Australian domestic providers, and has grown since. As I mentioned in the intro, Campermate is free, so that's really big positive. It is available on Apple through iOS, and it is available on Android as well, and there's a website. Okay, let's start with its home screen. So as I said, it will open on the location that you're currently at, but I just want to talk about some of the icons that are appearing on this screen and then the layout of the screen. So firstly, the icons. These small purple icons here represent campsites that are suitable to all vehicles. The red one is food sites, a restaurant, etc. This is a tourist site with a little wave and hill on it. The difference between the purple and the green is this is a caravan park, whereas the green is a campsite, because it's got the motorhome and the van there. That shows you that it's suitable for any vehicles. The green with just the motorhome, that's self-contained vehicles only. Yeah, so purple are paid campgrounds, green are free, orange sites are activities, and blue sites are public amenities. The camera icon over here is a tourist attraction, and then the other thing is that you'll see two of these sites on this page have got a small tick and a calendar. What that means is that the site can be booked via the Campermate app, and the calendar means that it can be booked with less than 24 hours notice. One thing on here is I've noticed is that there's a few icons lacking. There is an information centre in Cobram, but that's not appearing. If I move up to Tocumwal, just a little bit further down the Murray River, you'll see that there is an information centre. The other thing, the other icon that's on here is there's a museum icon. So this is a historic museum just here, Tocumwal Historic Aerodrome Museum. Tocumwal's famous for its aerodrome that it had during the Second World War. Just returning back down to Cobram, I wanted to highlight a few things when you click through to a site. So clicking through to the RACV Cobram Resort, which happens to be where I am right now. So to go into the details, you just click on the photo and it takes you in. At the moment, I've only been able to find one photo for each site, so I can't find photos that have been submitted by users. So if you click on this small camera icon at the top right, it does allow you to add a photo. So I'm not sure where those photos get stored. I will look around to see if there are any sites with multiple photos. And if you go into the FAQs under how do I add a photo, you can see that they will only have a single photo per site. So they periodically review each listing and make sure the photos displayed are the best available ones. You see, because it's got that purpley colour, it's a paid campground. Other things on here, if I just click on this little down arrow next to the summary, it explains what the icons mean. Suitable for any vehicle type, Wi-Fi, powered sites. So that's great. Pricing is a little bit further down the page. And this is really interesting because that pricing must be for a cabin. It's certainly not for a caravan site or a camping site. Contact details, which you'd expect. Get directions. So you can get directions. Because I'm already there, I'm not going to do that. But the other way you can get directions is clicking on this little right arrow on the photo. So I'm just going to jump in here and show you how directions do work. I'm going to look for a location in Finley in New South Wales, which is not too far from where I am in Cobram, Northern Victoria. There's a caravan park just on the edge of the lake. That looks all right to me, so I'll select that and I'll click on the directions. Oh, an ad's popped up, and it's an ad for a location in the US, I think. So not the most relevant to me. Anyway, I will click on the X and leave the ad, go back to the Lakeside, Finley Lakeside Caravan Park, click on directions, and it opens up automatically Google Maps and shows me the directions using Google Maps from my location to Finley. You can share the site with others and you can heart it. So I will heart it just to see what that happens later on. So that's a little bit on there. The other thing on here is comments. So this is similar to reviews on Camps Australia wide and on Wikicamps. And what you'll notice on here is that the last review on this site was the 23rd of June 2020. So it's obviously not heavily updated. If I just add a comment, what's available? Powered sites, unpowered sites, tent sites, pets welcomes. Oh, sometimes it is definitely family friendly. Wi-Fi is available, phone signals okay, bookings recommended. I'm going to submit that. And it has been submitted. So down to get out of that. I wonder if I go out and come back in, if my review is there. No, so it must be validated before it gets posted. So that's one thing on there. The other things on this site are the normal little icon to center, to bring the map back to being centered on yourself. So if I click on that, it should come back to Cobram. There it is. This little map icon shows you that you can go traditional maps, which is what I've got now, or normal maps, satellite maps, and you can download offline maps. So if I go into satellite view, and I have already checked this to see if you can see the Monday Bash concert site out of Silverton, and it is there. So I think this is using the same maps as Camps Australia wide, but not Wikicamps. And you'll see down here it is 2025 Google imagery. Right, I'll go back into normal, and I'll try later on getting offline. Now search, let's check the search button. So just by clicking on that, it's come up with locations that are around me. So these are campsites that are close to me. See that information centre at Tokemall that I mentioned? And it's not sorted by distance because Sporty's Mini Golf is definitely closer than Tokemall. So yeah, that's interesting. I'm going to search for one of my favourites, which is Lightning Ridge. Oop, bit free with the fingers there. Lightning Ridge. And I want to find I think it's the Big Opal Caravan Park Lightning Ridge, and it's the first one that comes up. Well, that's interesting. So the search doesn't constrain you to something that's in the name. So Lightning Ridge is not in the name here. It is in the name in the Visitor Information Centre. And you can see it's in the address in a lot of these other locations. Yep, so it seems to be a text-based search using the name or the address. Anyway, that's good enough for me. So let's go out of the search. This is messaging. So if I click on the envelope, I'll have to sign up or log in to start receiving recommendations to your inbox. I've already signed up, so I won't do that right now. We have top left. Okay, so if I click on the menu bar, you see the top. I start at the top, offline map. This is where I go to download an offline map. As I said, created in New Zealand, so New Zealand comes first, and then in Australia. And for some reason, Western Australia gets a lot of attention on this app. But good on you, Western Australia. Let's click on it again. My profile, which I haven't set up. Settings will go into settings on your device itself. Share the app, email app feedback. So I assume that will open your email account and automatically address an email back to Campermate. FAQs about Campermate, subscribe, and update data. So this was last updated, must have been automatically because that is today. In fact, that's 12 minutes ago when I last started it. So to turn this left screen off, just click on the menu icon again, or I assume I can just click outside it. Yep, that will turn off. Then the last thing is filters. So filters is something I like a lot. So if I click on that, it's interesting that, one, I can just default to everything. So that's handy, and I don't have to click save. So that's different to the experience on Wikicamps. We have to click save a lot. And I just noticed that I must have had some things set, because a few different icons have showed up, including lots and lots of toilets, public Wi-Fi, supermarkets. What's this one here? That must be long vehicle parking, caravan parking. Yep. What else have we got? Oh, yeah, so there's this shower icon up here. And the shower icon is a hot shower. Petrol stations as well. So, fuel stations. I wonder if it tells you the brand or the price. Cobram Depot, DCA, petrol station. This is the other thing with using a free app. This is what you get. You get ads all the time. So I will X out of that ad. Cobram Depot, and it doesn't give you any details, so no pricing. So unlike Camps Australia-wide, which gives you pricing, etc., there's nothing there. There's a lot of information missing here. I mentioned there's an information centre in Cobram, which is not there. There is now a Coles in Cobram. You see it's mentioned here on the Google map, but it does not have a supermarket icon. This will be a Woolworths supermarket. In fact, there's an IGA supermarket as well in Cobram, so that's not there. So it must be reliant upon public input. So it doesn't have all the information you want. And the other thing is that it actually has almost too much information. So this site here, if I click on that, you'll see that it's mentioned as Cobram Baruga camping area. If I go into it, it's called a free campground. There's a photo in the background of somebody camping here and enjoying their lunch in the sun by the river. But if you go into comments, you'll see that there is no camping or campervan signs, although people are there, and that was in 2018. I've never seen anybody staying here. I do not believe it is a campsite, whereas these sites down here are campsites. So there's a bit missing. Anyway, back to filters. After everything, you'll see the first two, the Instant Book and the Allow Same-Day Bookings, and they're the icons that I mentioned associated with the site on the map. So if I only click on Instant Book and I scroll out, you'll see I get sites on here that I can book instantly. And the majority of them are free campsites. Allow same-day booking. Interestingly, everything that allows same-day booking is also an instant booking. Now, I know there will be caravan parks that allow same-day booking, without doubt, but because they're not instant bookings on here, they're not showing. So even though it's just allow same-day bookings and I don't have instant book highlighted, it is doing it based on both. I'm going to just turn that off, go back to everything. And campgrounds, so I can go by brand. Powered sites, unpowered sites. If I click on powered sites, there you go, shows paid campgrounds, paid caravan parks. Unpowered sites should show caravan parks as well as campsites, which it has. Self-contained vehicles only, non-self-contained vehicles only, free campgrounds, hostels. Activities. So the activities list is relatively small. Foodie finds will show you food sites. So there is a food site in Cobram that has a foodie finds on it. Show you that site in Cobram with foodie finds. Where is it? Here it is. There's a small heart here. So that's a corner store cafe, which is well worth a visit if you are in Cobram. Foodie find. No comments. Often referred to as the best coffee in town by locals. So I don't know where they get their information, but I've seen that message or that comment before associated with that store. So caravan day parking, dump station, public toilet, petrol, information centres, public showers, supermarkets, laundromats. Okay, didn't see those. EV charging station. There is an EV charging station here at the RACV Cobram Resort, which is not on the map, so it hasn't been added by somebody. Water fountain and Wi-Fi. And what I will do... Oh, and then LPG bottle swap or fill, and if you click on the down arrow, you can actually select between bottle fill or bottle swap. You know, it's all pretty good there, particularly for free. What I'm going to do, though, is see... There's an EV filling station just here. So how do I add a site? And it looks like the only way to add a site is to email them at campermate.co.nz or info@campermate.co.nz, which is interesting. So the fact that there's an EV charging station here, I do not have the ability to add. The fact there's a new Coles over here, I also don't have the ability to add. All right, let's try and add a trip. Well, that's unfortunate. There is not any trip functionality in Campermate. Now I know in the website version you can create itineraries, and I'll take you through that, but I don't believe it actually creates a trip out of your proposed itinerary. All you can do is, see it's got my favourites there at the top. So let's say you want to go do an itinerary, start at Town Beach. Click on the campsite of Town Beach in Tokemore. Lovely place to stay, highly recommend it. If I click on the heart icon, oh, hang on, more than one photo, been proven wrong. There you go, 2 photos on a site. Last comment on here, 2024, $7.50 per person per site. Let's go back to the details, and there's nothing under fees. Alright, so now I've hearted that site, and because I also did one on the site I'm in at the moment in Cobram, if I just click on my favourites, it will show you Town Beach up here and RACV Cobram Resort. So you could have an offline itinerary where you just have all your favourites listed, and you look at the map and you figure I'm heading from south to north or north to south or east to west, and I will just go from location to location based on the direction I'm going. So it does not have any trip planning. Disappointing, but you know, you're not paying anything, so it might just help with your bookings. So that's the app on the iPad. Now I've gone into the website. So let's just see what happens if I click on free campsites down here. Okay, it shows me some free campsites. It starts with a list of campsites in New Zealand. There is no association with my current location. So I imagine if I expand the map out and then I drill it in, zoom in, let's look around Campermate, take them all. Come on, I know there's free campsites here. I know there's lots of them. Yeah, they're not showing. Now, that's not good. Let's go back. So the website's got some nice little tips, but the good thing about the website is this build itineraries. So I click on build itineraries. You'll see that it defaults to 5 West Australian itineraries, and I mentioned before that it does seem to like Western Australia. And then this map of Australia and New Zealand. So when you build itinerary, it's a preview alpha. So this is not even a beta release, this is an alpha release. So which for all your IT people, you know, means it will be full of bugs and not even close to ready for public release, despite the fact that it's on a public website. The beta or beta releases tend to be ones that are closer to production ready, and then they go into production. So this is a Campermate itinerary builder, Billy. All you need to do is select the country from the drop down and then select your regions, and Billy will put together places to go and things to do in those areas. But it will not give you a route. It will not give you a plan. It will just give you locations. Please beware, this product is currently in preview alpha, so they're not responsible for any inaccuracies, and that's fair enough. So just be aware of that. So I can only choose from 2 countries. I will go into Australia. Now, what it's showing you here is a list of locations in Australia where they can create itineraries, and it's done using AI. I'm going to zoom in on Queensland, and I'm going to create an itinerary. I could do one just for Outback Queensland, so I can just click on that. You see how it goes yellow. You can actually create an itinerary for more than one location. So let's say I'm coming in from Yeppoon or Rockhampton, and I want to go via this Capricorn area as well. So I can click on more than one. If I scroll down, click on generate itinerary. Now once I do this, I am going to use my finger to scroll the screen up, because you'll see that the AI is generating this version of an itinerary as you go. So click on that. So Outback Queensland, you see how it's building it. Geography and climate, must-see attractions. Interesting that Uluru and Katajuta are listed in Outback Queensland. I would have thought they were in the Northern Territory. All right. And now it's listed campgrounds and holiday parks, activities, and then because I clicked on Capricorn, it's given me a database error. I can't be critical of that because it is an alpha release. Now let's just go through that again, and I'll just select one site. I'll just do Outback Queensland this time. Generate itinerary. Bit more geography, Indigenous culture, tourism. So it was actually a different output this time than last time. It shows on this map the locations that it's suggesting. So there's a lot of paid campsites in the north and a lot of things to see in the south. So I'm going to go through that again. I'll select these two. Generate itinerary. Lots of things to show on the map. Started to build it. Things to do, surfing. Excellent. Nothing else, just surfing. And if I scroll across, you'll see that it shows me lots more campgrounds. So it's a nice idea generator if you are going to an area. So I could see why you would use the website for creating ideas. Yeah, so I see how you could use this website and this AI tool to generate ideas, but I'd still create the itinerary itself in either Camps Australia Wide or Wikicamps, and my preference is still Wikicamps. So that's a little bit on the website. I realised I forgot to show you offline maps. So to get those, you click on the menu in the top left, then offline maps. You come into this screen and then you just click on a state. So I've clicked on Victoria. It went through a process of downloading and now it's going through a process of installing. And this is how the offline maps look. So if I just drill in a little bit here to Cobram, you'll see the layout, but it shows you places north of the Murray, so New South Wales, Barooga State Forest, for example. So the coverage is a little bit more than just the state of Victoria. If I zoom out here, you'll see the actual coverage. And this is how it looks on the Android. So it's pretty much the same as the iPad. Just get rid of my background location access. Right, now, so if I scroll around or if I zoom out, you'll see that it has a very similar look and feel to the iPad. Alright, so that's a very quick review of Campermate, the app and the website. Would I use it? Well, it's free, so there's no downside. The ads are understandable. They've got to have a revenue model. They've got to pay for their costs of servers, etc. So I don't have an issue with the ads. But I'd rather pay for something and not have ads. But that's just me. There is no ability to plan a trip using the Campermate app. There are no ratings on any of the sites, so you can't compare sites based on the general feedback from the public. There are comments, but they tend to be fairly old comments. Would I use it? I definitely would not use it in replacement of other apps. I think Wikicamps is far better. I think Camps Australia Wide is far better. I'd have the app on my phone. I think just for those occasions where you're desperately looking for some place to stay and you want to find a place just around you, it will come up with those sites and it will let you know whether you have to book or not. Would I use it? I'd probably have it on my phone. Would I reference it much? Maybe not. But I would use the idea generation through the AI service on the website. So when I plan on travelling to Queensland, northern Queensland, later this year, I'm going to use this website to generate a list of just sort of sites that I might include on my trip, but then I'll use Wikicamps to actually plan the trip itself. So I find the website better than the app. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for Campermate. A quick one this week. Hope you got something out of it, and remember, please subscribe and like. I always appreciate that. Any comments are always much appreciated, and I will certainly try to get back to you with any comments. So until next time, see ya.